I want to go back to the manifesto a little bit. So you got that in place within the company. Um, do you recall changes that you can attribute to the existence of the manifesto? Like, how did it change how the company was working, and did you start to see the benefits of having that document that says that yes, you can and you are encouraged to engage with open source, and all those things?
Yes, so I like to think that it had a positive impact within the company. I can't prove it, because we don't have any metrics or KPIs that find out did somebody make a contribution because of the manifesto. But so what we started hearing more and more, and still are hearing, is that people say, "Hey, we should publish this as open source. Look, we have the FOSS Manifesto, and it says right there, do this." Or people say, my boss challenged me for devoting time to open source contributions, but I told him, look, it's written in the manifesto that we're supposed to do this, you know, and so more and more people, or say, I wasn't sure if I could, and then somebody showed me the manifesto, and I was like, oh, okay, amazing. So I hear stories like that still, that people reference the manifesto and say, look, we have this. And now, funnily enough, once other companies started publishing their manifesto, which was inspired by ours, then, internally people said, oh, look, if Siemens has a FOSS manifesto, then it must be a cool thing. Or if SAP has that now, then it must be something good. Yeah, it looks like that. Yeah. So, it was funny. We got inspired back by other companies publishing their manifesto, which is also cool. So I think, yes, those are the main benefits, I would say.
I love that. I mean, I worked in a huge company myself, and like when the employee numbers are above 100,000, then there's no way that whatever that gets to every single person
Mm.
who works there. And once I joined the Open Infra Foundation, I also experienced talking to a person at a large company and asking them if they knew another person at that large company, and they're like, no, I'd never heard that name. So much of the job became introducing people to each other who worked for the same company, but never
Hmm.
even knew the other person existed. So I can definitely see how people will learn because of how you opened up the manifesto, and other companies got the inspiration, and not just the inspiration, but also a starting point where they could start building their own. So it's pretty cool.
Right. And so just one more thing, I guess one of the main benefits is the public commitment, that says, hey, look, we as Mercedes believe in open source. And so that's like other people outside have told me, this is amazing. This is really cool. We love that you're supporters of open source. And also we've had, people that applied for a job and said, we saw your manifesto and we saw your public work with open source that somebody at a conference talked about, and I would not work for, as an IT person, I would not work for a company that doesn't do open source. So that's also one of the good benefits, I would say.
So if I understand it correctly, you're saying that it's not enough to have a manifesto and have the high level and C-level management sign it and say that yes, this is what we believe in, but it made a huge difference that it was public. So it was publicly stated that the company has the manifesto, and that this is what you are following as the organization as a whole.
Yeah, I would say so. Yeah, I mean, open source is about talking in the open about things, right? So yeah.
Yeah, and it was interesting the way you described the value that you got from others like SAP, and I'm sure Toyota is going to be in that list as well, right? As others inside of your company see others outside of your company adopting something that you actually kicked off multiple years ago. It's almost like a crossing the chasm, right? It's like it's something that used to be different and potentially scary to, well, look, if everybody's doing it, then it, those others also doing the public manifesto make it easier for your company because it's just more common, it's more industry wide accepted. So
Yes,
it's almost like a chasm crossing that is helped there.
I like that chasm. Yeah, exactly.